Lay down. Oh my gosh. Hey everyone, welcome back to Life as a Law Student. I'm Nicole, and this little brown orange patch of fur is a dog that I'm pet sitting, so don't mind him. It feels like it's been a really long time since I've just sat down and talked with you guys. The last 2 months you've been seeing videos that were mostly pre-filmed either before I left St. Louis, during the move, or right when I got here, because I knew it was going to be hectic. And I was completely right. The last 2 weeks I have found it really difficult to film, and I'm literally filming this video the Friday night before I post it. But don't mistake this for me not wanting to talk to you. I have so much to tell you and fill you in on, so that is what today's video is. Telling you how the summer is going, telling you my plan for the next academic year, which has only recently been solidified, and just share what's going on this side of the camera. I would love it if you guys would tell me in the comments what you've been up to this summer. I feel like we just haven't talked in a while, you know? Like, please fill me in. So the summer has been eventful. As some of you might know from watching the past videos on this channel, I am currently in North Carolina working at a local district attorney's office. I was originally placed in the misdemeanor unit and have since been transferred to the violent crimes unit. They are very different. Misdemeanors is obviously working with misdemeanor crimes, so things that are, I don't want to say not as serious, but at least what can be proven has been societally determined to be less serious or less deserving of extensive prison time, as things like robberies, kidnapping, murders, assaults. For the most part, you could probably categorize it yourself based on common sense, although there are, in my opinion, a couple exceptions to that. I was only in misdemeanors for 2 weeks, so most of my internship has been on the violent crimes team. I've been assigned a lot of research projects where I'm drafting memos on in-depth statutory interpretation kind of issues, and I've also really practiced my analytical skills in looking at cases and preparing them for plea offers. That's something that I hadn't really ever done before. It's been interesting to consider how to think about sentencing in the context of different statutory schemes. So North Carolina, for example, relies pretty heavily on structured sentencing, giving a mitigated, a presumed, and an aggravated range of sentences. Once you offer whatever that range is going to be, the actual number of months somebody will serve in prison is totally out of the hands of the prosecutor or even the judge. It's up to the prison. That may be the case in other places that I've worked, but I hadn't encountered it before and didn't know about it before. So this is my first time thinking about it. I've also thought a lot about the factors that go into a plea offer, like the strength of the case, the defendant's criminal history, whether you think that this defendant would benefit from rehabilitation, the success of their reentry. There's just all kinds of considerations. There's no real list necessarily that I have found anyway. I have to caveat everything with just what my own experience has been and not necessarily what is in reality out there. So all in all, this internship has been quite different than the ones that I've worked at before. I would say that the mentorship aspect has been less personal and more professional, as in giving projects and helping you work through those projects, as opposed to investing in me as a person. And neither of those is right or wrong. It's just different. And I think I've learned a lot more about the dynamics of an office that I'd like to work in long term in the future. I know more questions to ask when I'm going through interviews, and I'm really grateful that I've had the opportunity to kind of mature in those ways and know what I'm looking for a little bit better going forward. I have really enjoyed living in North Carolina this summer. The people here are so nice. I've gotten plugged into 2 different churches, one of which has a huge young adult population of people passionate about Jesus and wanting to pray for each other and talk about the Bible. That has been a welcome relief, and it kind of feels like I'm returning back to my college days. For those of you that don't know, I went to a small liberal arts Christian college called Wheaton in the Chicago suburbs, and absolutely loved it. Like, that was totally my community of smart people who love the Lord and want to pursue not just a job, but a vocation. This is very Christianese. The idea is to find a career that's not just fulfilling for your finances, but fulfilling for your spirit and the calling that you believe God has placed on your life. So being able to regularly have those kinds of conversation again has been really refreshing. In St. Louis, I had a hard time finding a population that was so centered and passionate about my age group, which not that it's all about me, but it's really nice just to find a community like that again. So that has been great. I've made some friends that I hope will stick around for a while. Bye, puppy. I've really been blessed to live with housemates that are kind and welcoming and hospitable and accommodating. They have been great. And actually, I'm pretty sure you know who they are because I think they were in the moving vlog that I did with my brother. If you didn't see that, you can check it out up here. There are so many good restaurants around here and fun things to do. There's an amusement park I'm actually going to go to for the second time tomorrow. They have a ton of hikes and outdoor activities that I feel like I've just barely scratched the surface of in the couple months I've been here. But I would love to come back here and vacation here, maybe eventually live here. But moving past this summer, I do have some updates for you on what the next academic year is going to look like, and by extension, what this channel is going to be about. Always law school, but more specifically, in the spring, I am going to be returning to St. Louis. There was a possibility I was going to be studying abroad in Italy for the fall. That is no longer happening for a variety of reasons, most of which have to do with the disease that took over the world. But ultimately, it's okay. I came to peace with that likelihood that wasn't going to happen about a year ago. So it's all good. I'm still planning to go to Italy, but it will probably be after I graduate sometime next year. In the meantime, I will be back in St. Louis. I'm going to be in, I was going to say 3 classes, but it's really a clinic and 2 classes. I just got my schedule, so I can officially say what it is. I'm going to be in the wrongful conviction clinic for half of my credits, which is, to my understanding, pending further review and investigation, that I will be representing clients who have credible claims of innocence in their appeals. So that's really exciting. I've never gotten to work on the defense side of the criminal process before. And if I'm going to do that, this is the area that I would do it in, because even prosecution offices around the country have started implementing things like conviction integrity units, where they review old cases, help defendants that were wrongfully convicted, or that their office messed up on in some way, even if it was decades ago, to try to give these people some of their life back. I think that is amazing that prosecutors are taking accountability in that way, not only to protect the safety of the community ahead of time, and do it the best that they can, but also to recognize those faults where they lie and do their best to correct them. So I'm not going to be working, I think, with either a prosecutor's or a defense office per se. I think we're working with some kind of nonprofit organization that does this. It's not the Innocence Project, but something akin to that. So I will keep you posted, but I'm really excited about it, and I think I'm gonna learn a ton. My 2 classes are going to be trial practice, I think it has a longer name, but essentially trial practice, and corporations. Corporations is a class that I need to take for the bar. I use the word need loosely, as in I personally need to take it for the bar. Corporations is a subject that's always on the bar. You technically don't have to take any bar classes, I guess, if you don't want to after 1 a year, but that seems kind of silly and a waste of time and money to me. So I'm going to be taking corporations to try to get some semblance of a foundation of understanding of that subject in my brain before bar prep next year. Trial practice should be really easy. We'll see. It's all about learning the procedure of a trial. I don't think it's criminal necessarily. I think it's just any trial, but it's teaching students to learn about opening statements, closing arguments, direct examinations, cross-examinations, hearings, all the stuff that I've been doing in my internships for the last couple years. So I totally think that there's more for me to learn. I'm excited to do that, but I'm also hoping that this won't be too hard for me to do. And there's no exam, so come exam period, I should just have the one for corporations, which will be good because it's gonna need all the brain power I can give it. So I'm really excited about my last semester in St. Louis, which will be this fall, taking those classes and that clinic. I don't know what my extracurricular activities will be yet. It kind of remains to be seen how in-person events end up being. I think the goal is for all of our classes to be in person in the fall, so we shall see. I'm moving out of my apartment in St. Louis in December after finals. I will be going back home to spend Christmas with my family. And then in January, at some point, I'm going to be moving temporarily to Phoenix, Arizona, where I will be working in a DA's office there for an externship. Washington University has this great program called Semester in Practice. You get 12 non-law classroom units. They're LCUs, so I gotta remember what that stands for, but you get 12 of those to work full-time in a government or nonprofit or public interest kind of office, and you don't have to go to class because you're a full-time student with 12 credits. I worked really hard last semester so that I could afford to only take 12 credits both of the following semesters, as in the next two coming up this year. So I'm really excited that my entire career as a law student in my last semester is just going to be essentially working as an attorney in a local prosecutor's office. So it'll be my second time in a ginormous office. I worked in the largest office, Los Angeles, when I was an intern in college. You can check out the video about that experience up here. And I thought there was a lot to learn. I wish that I had been able to suck in more, but I didn't even know what I was looking for because I wasn't a law student yet and I didn't know what I was doing. So hopefully some of those things are remedied by now, at least 1 out of 2. Really excited to go to Phoenix. I'm not excited at all about the heat because my family lives in basically the same desert that Phoenix is in, but on the California side, and I can tell you it's not pleasant. Thankfully, I will be there January through April, and hopefully it will not kill me for those 4 months. So yeah, in the coming academic year, you can expect to see a little bit more of St. Louis, a last hurrah for law school classes, 1 more clinic to give you a thorough review of, and a whole new city for us to explore, another internship to review, and probably the beginning of bar prep. That actually reminds me, I gotta start studying for the MPRE. I'm taking that in less than 3 weeks and have barely signed up for my study account on Barbary. That's not great. Maybe we'll do an MPRE video in the next couple weeks. Let me know if you want to see that. Don't think I have too much else to share. My internship here is going to be over in 3 weeks, and I'm going to be gone for 1 of those weeks because I'm going to a wedding in Chicago for my best friend. Yay. I should hopefully still have videos for you in those coming weeks. This next week I think I have a lot of time to film. I'm not making any promises though. You just have to be patient with me. But once the semester starts and we hit our stride, I think we'll be okay. Thank you all so much for sticking with me throughout the summer. I hope that it's been a good one. And again, I would really love to hear your stories and updates in the comments below. If you've watched this whole freaking video and all the updates about my life, but don't know who I am enough that you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what you're doing. Like, please subscribe. That would be great. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really value your time, and I hope that that comes across in every minute that you watch on my channel. I will see you all next week, hopefully, with another video. And until then, have a great week, and God bless.